3, 2, 1. God bless you, my brother. God bless you, my sister. I greet you with divine love. I'm Dr. John Butler. For the past few months, I've been really going in, really intensified on explaining and expressing to people that there are other avenues and there are other ways to making a living. My whole drive, because I've been blessed, I've been better than blessed in my life to have traveled, to have seen the world, to have done a ton of things that I know many people that I've ran across and have known for years have yet to do. Places that they have yet to see, vehicles that they have yet to ride in that are just ridiculous when you think about all the things that God has created. So my goal in 2011 is to create as many successfully financial persons as I possibly can, to at least make them aware of the opportunities that are afforded. Now, let me explain something to you. In everything that you do, there will always be naysayers. That's one thing that I don't hang around. I don't hang around negative people. Why? Because negative vibes, negative people will always present negative things. They will always have a negative equation. They will always be pessimistic. You can tell them the sun is shining, they're going to say it's too hot. You can say, well, now it's a little cloud, we got a little rain. They're going to say, well, it's too wet. If it gets cold and we get a little snow, they're going to say it's too much ice. Everything is always going to be negative. So I never center myself around negative people. My mindset has always been to be around the positive, because even in the midst of the positive, there's some things that may not go right, but if your glass is half full and not half empty, you will always see where glory can be seen and shared, and you will always see where glory can be illuminated and extricated when you think about the fact of life and what it does bring. There are some things that we cannot avoid. Some things that we just cannot. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you have. It's some things that you just cannot avoid. But you can avoid being broke. You can avoid living in poverty. There are too many opportunities that are now being presented that back in the day they were not being presented. So we had to just stand on the grounds of plan A. Now we can create a plan B for ourselves. But I found out, and it's so amazing, because when you talk to people, you find out where they really are. And I'm not talking about everybody, but I'm talking about some of those that are pessimistic, where they would pop up with anything to get out of the conversations because they don't want to be a part. Instead of just saying, look, I don't want to have anything to do with it, they'll come up with things like fraud or some things like scam and things of that sort. And then when you prove to them, because see, let me draw your attention to one thing. I feel like a modern day Caleb in this area. Now, on one of my other videos, I talk about the idea of Noah and the ark. But here, I feel like a Caleb and a Joshua, mainly because I've already gone out and surveyed the land. I've already seen that there were Anakims. I've already seen that there were giants. The situation the way it is, and as Donald Lawrence song say, giants, they do come down. They must come down. Giants do fall. So the fact of the matter is, I seen the giants, but I knew for a fact that I can take the land. So when I got in and started getting the land, I started calling folk. This is what I did. Once I got my foot in the door and realized how solid the foundation was, I began to call people on the phone. I began to send out my letters. I began to email you guys and let you know what's going on. Many of you took the position to get on in, jump on it, and many of you now are saying thank you. Many of you have written the testimonies, and if folk will go out, they will see the partners that we have across the country who've come in and realized that Dr. Butler, poverty is not for me, that I'm going to come out of that Deuteronomy 28 poverty-stricken curse. They realized that it was a curse of poverty in the 28th chapter of Deuteronomy that they had to break away from. And so now things are beginning to take off. Well, there are others, though, that will sit right next to you in the same pew and in the same church, and everything you present to them is a scam, or it's a curse, or it's this, or it's that, or one or the other, when the fact of the matter is, all they have to do is say, I don't have the faith to step out and believe And that's pretty much what it is. It is a belief system that you can see once you come in. There's no way possible that you can be a part of 10 franchises. You can own 10 franchises and not become wealthy. It is totally impossible unless you're not doing anything. And so that's what has been expressed to you. That's what we've been introducing to you. And again, because some people don't understand, they'll go right back. And what's so funny is that this is what I do all the time. And I guess you can say it's arrogant, or you can call it whatever you want to. But every time I go into those that don't believe, I always use what I know they say it doesn't work. Because I like to show people that you're wrong about this, mainly because of the fact that you're still not doing any better than what you were doing, and you've been doing this for 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years, and you're still in the same financial rut. You need a plan B, a plan C. If you look around the website, you will see so many accolades that I've earned. But I earned those. You see all the music that has been recorded. But I recorded this music. You'll see the DVD that is helping artists all over the country to understand how to become successful. Not to become famous, but to become successful in receiving royalties every quarter in their life so that they can feed their families with what they love doing. All of these things I've created. And the beat goes on and on and on and on of the things that I have done to earn what I have. But what I looked at, and then I'm going to leave y'all alone. I looked at the fact that there are many people that are coming into my site and they're inspired by the music. They're inspired by the messages. They're inspired by the DVDs. They're inspired by the educational efforts and everything that we have put together. And information. They're inspired by all of that. But I do want to do more than just inspire people. I want to do more. I always, even when I preach behind the pulpit every Sunday, I wanted to do more than just give a spoken word. I wanted to present to people the opportunity of, yes, God will make a way out of no way, but now let me show you how. If I can then get into your spirit to check out a couple of links that can lower your light bill, that can lower your gas bill, that can lower your internet costs, that can lower your satellite costs, that can lower your telephone bill. All of these are things that you are using every day of your life and you pay them every month. Why not take an opportunity to lower the cost so that when you come to church on Sunday morning, there's a little bit more you got left to give unto God because you really want to show God how good He has been. So that's all we're about doing. And then on the other end of that, for those of you who want to make more money, what I do then, instead of just saying God will make a way out of no way, God will, He will, yeah, He will, yes, He will, yes, He will. We know He will, but there are some things that He has set and made provision for you so that you can come out of what you're in and begin to make a whole new life for yourself. Behold, all things become new. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things become new. It's a new day and a new you. So why sit and go through the struggle? Why sit and listen to other people who are struggling? They're not moving any further. There's going to be a tape I'm going to show you because I want to reveal some things to you, mainly because, again, people just don't believe because they don't want to believe. And a lot of times you have to sway that spirit of not being able to get something, of not being able to attain something, of not being able to reach certain goals and certain levels based upon the fact that other people don't believe you can do it. So many of us, when we hear other people say, and this, I have to interject this. When somebody tells you that something is bad or that something doesn't work, please ask them to show you the evidence. If they can't bring the evidence of what they're saying about something, then they really don't know what they're talking about. There is evidence in everything. So every time somebody approaches me in a negative fashion, I always say, where is your evidence? Go get me some evidence, and when you can produce that, then I can believe what you say. So then on the other hand, when you ask me, well, Dr. Butler, where's the evidence? Well, look at the life. See where we're moving. See where we're going. But that should not be what you need to gauge. You need to gauge where you are, what you are going through, how hard life is for you, because it's too many times we've tried to Joneses. We've tried to keep up with the Joneses, as we used to say, and we found out the Joneses were not really doing as well as we thought they were. They just had a few more credit cards to charge up than we did. So you can't balance it on that. But if you have a plan B, now when you run into a situation, it is so much the easier to get yourself out of that. Why? Because you have a reserve here that is sitting here whenever you need it, or that you're building up on every day, that you're making happen. You've got to get, we are not where we were. Remember what Congress has said, y'all. This is the only reason why I'm so intense. I know some people get mad with me and they're like, man, who does he think he is? He's trying to tell me how to live. He's trying to tell me, he don't know me. Matter of fact, I don't know him. Who do he think? Y'all had better pay attention, if I may go southern for a moment. Y'all had better pay attention. Congress has already said 8 years from now, and it's actually 7 now, that there will only be 2 classes of people, upper class and lower class. There will not be middle class. I know that for a fact because they've been pinging on us for the longest, at least the last 3.5 to 4 years since this recession hit. But I'm climbing and going higher. I just don't want to leave anybody behind. Now, everybody's not going to come. I got that. That's well understood. That's your choice. And that's what I love about God. He never removed choice from us. He let us have choice. He let Adam have choice. He gave you choice. And ever since then, he's been giving us the choice. It's your choice. But my thing to you is to make a wise choice.